we have been talking about gratitude and focusing on different aspects of gratitude. This week in particular, we've been discussing connections. So really focusing our practice on the connections that we have that we're grateful for, our connections to our family, our friends, to nature, and to ourselves. So I'd like to invite you during this practice to not just notice the connections, but to really embody the connections. So thinking about how you feel when you think of this person or this place or this thing that you're connected to that you're grateful for. And maybe just through each transition or each posture that we take, picking one of those things that we're grateful for and focusing on it during that time and softening the body and really feeling into where that connection shows up energetically for you. So that's kind of what today's practice is about. So go ahead and lay down in Shavasana. We'll start laying down and just check in with our bodies, our spirit today. So as you lay down, begin to arrive here. Just take a couple of cleansing breaths in through the nose and exhaling gently through the mouth. And begin to notice the support beneath you. Drawing your awareness into this space, letting go of anything that happened before you arrived, anything that is to happen later today. Just finding yourself anchored here into the space of your mat, into the room, and into the body. And maybe just begin to scan from the top of your head, from your crown, all the way down to the soles of your feet. And just notice anywhere in your body that you may be holding tension, that may be speaking to you in some way. Just asking for a little nourishment today. Thinking about tending to those spaces within you throughout your practice. If you'd like to set a specific intention for your practice today, feel free to do that now. Just drawing awareness to the heart space and seating that intention there. And we'll begin with banana asana or crescent asana. Walking the ankles over to the right corner of the mat, cross the left ankle over the right. And then draw your shoulders over to the top right corner of the mat. And you can cactus your arms here, or just have them out to the sides maybe. We want to keep our shoulders in contact with our mat. And we're just breathing into this space, opening on the left side body. So we're creating this crescent shape with our bodies and softening into that space. So just see if you can allow the hips to Be in contact with the mat, the shoulders, and the heels. And as you breathe here, maybe thinking of that first connection, something you're grateful for today. Inviting that awareness and that intention into the space as we begin our practice. We can uncross the ankles. Walk everything back through center. Maybe you pull the knees in towards the body, giving them a little squeeze here, just resetting. Maybe rocking side to side. And then moving into the opposite side, walking the ankles over to the left corner of the mat, crossing the right over the left, and bringing the shoulders to the top left corner of the mat. Finding a comfortable place to rest your arms, where you can feel into all of those points of contact. Begin to find some stillness here. You can stay with that same connection if you'd like. We're just moving into the opposite side of the body here, so breathing into the opening and the softening of the right side. You can choose a different connection if you'd like to, but it might be helpful just to begin to tune into the body and notice any differences where you feel this resonate within the body on the right side versus the left. Just being curious about it. Not really attaching a story here, just drawing some awareness. unwind, coming back through center. And then taking whatever stretch here feels good to you, hugging the knees in, or maybe lengthening all the way through the fingertips to the soles of the feet or the toes. Then rolling over onto one side and coming up into a seated position to Sukhasana, easy seated pose. You can use your props here if you'd like to take your blocks and place them underneath the thighs here towards the hips. It helps a little with any stiffness if there's a big gap there. Okay, so we're just going to find some length in our spine here as we arrive in an upright position, just connecting with our sit bones in the base of our spine, with the mat, with the earth. Just taking a moment here to ground. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. See if you can let your jaw relax. All the tiny muscles in your face, forehead, around the eyes, cheeks. Begin to connect with the breath here. Notice the rise and fall of the heart center. Notice where your breath is. If it's quick, let it be quick for a moment. And see if you can slow it down just a little. See if you can soften the belly. Allowing any tension to release here. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, letting the knees fall open for a butterfly. And you can again place the blocks here if you'd like, or you can let the knees fall towards the earth. And we'll find length in our spine here before walking the hands out and then letting the spine round and the head hang heavy. You can also, if you'd like to, bring a block here to support the forehead. You can do that instead. And you can go as deep into this as you'd like, but try to just find where your edge is, wherever you feel some sensation in the body, maybe in the hips or the lower back. And then just pausing there, allowing the body to rest where it feels those sensations, to just breathe into those spaces. Inhale and slowly walk the hands back, bringing the head up relaxed. And pausing at the top. We'll come into a half dragonfly, so extending the right leg out and bringing the left foot in towards the midline-ish, wherever's comfortable for you. And we'll take this into a side bend. So we'll be stacking the blocks on the inside of the right leg. We'll begin by just lengthening the spine. And then we'll pivot the body just slightly towards that left knee, placing your elbow on the block, and you can rest your head here, and you can play around with the height of these blocks if you need to. But we just want to feel this left hip anchored into the mat, and then we can bring the left hand to the small of the back or to the knee, but drawing that left shoulder back, opening the heart center here. And just finding where you'd like to be here that feels supportive, comfortable to you. And coming back to one of those connections you're grateful for. And it may be helpful to visualize, if you can, a cord of light connecting you from your heart space to this person, this place, whatever it is that you're drawing into your practice today. And just envisioning that cord and the connection with each breath, traveling, giving and receiving energy. Notice where you may have emotions arise or thoughts as you draw this person, place, or thing into your awareness. And just being mindful about whatever that is, connecting here, fostering that sense of gratitude. Release the blocks. Come all the way up on the inhale. Then we'll bend that right knee and just kick that leg back so you're coming into this deer shape or zigzag legs. And we'll inhale, lengthening here, reaching skyward. Exhale, taking a gentle twist here, just right hand to the left knee, left hand to the mat. So we're turning towards that left side. We won't be here too long. Just about 10 breaths, just taking a nice, easy twist here. We'll let your last exhale bring you back through center, and we'll switch to the opposite side, extending the left leg out, bringing the right foot towards the midline, moving your blocks to the inside of the left leg in whatever variation is working for you. And it may be different on this side. So we'll just find some length here, rooting down through our sit bones, and then shifting the body a little towards the right, and then finding that side stretch here on the opposite side. And you may notice one side feels different than the other, maybe more accessible, different sensations. The bodies are different on the right versus the left, and every day. So just taking what you need here to feel supported, so you can find some stillness. And inhale, releasing, coming all the way up. Set your blocks aside. And we'll just bring the legs out in front and just take some windshield wiper motions here. And then finding that zigzag shape on the opposite side. So your right leg in front and your left leg parallel to the other side of your mat. And we'll take that inhale, reaching skyward. Exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand to the mat, and our gaze comes to the right side. Opening up here, finding length and rooting down through the hips. 10 breaths. This easy twist, gentle twist. Thinking about maybe releasing any tension from the belly here. Let your next exhale bring you back through center. Unwind, and we will meet in tabletop. So if you'd like to bring your blankets to the mat, you can to support your knees here. And squaring up in tabletop, our knees are stacked under our hips and wrists are stacked under the shoulders. We're pressing into the mat through the palms of our hands and through the tops of our feet. And we'll move through some cat-cows here. Inhaling, dropping the belly, heart center comes forward, tailbone rises. Exhale, pressing through the hands, creating space in the back side of the heart center as we round the spine and tuck the tailbone. Inhale, coming into cow, dropping the belly, tailbone rises, gaze comes forward. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, gaze draws towards the navel. You can move through these at your own pace. Use this next couple of minutes to just feel into the corners of your body. Notice anywhere that may need a little more attention. Maybe there's some tightness in the shoulders or in the hips. Feel free to pause and just allow those areas to loosen up a little. Take whatever movement feels good here. Doesn't have to be cat-cows. Just use this time to feel into the body and connect again with your breath. coming back through a tabletop. We'll lower all the way down, coming onto our forearms, letting the legs come out long and finding Sphinx pose. And our elbows will be stacked under our shoulders, forearms pressed into the mat. You can also walk the arms out towards the edges of the mat to lessen the load on the lower back. You can also just come all the way down to the mat at any time to rest your head on your forearms. So if this becomes a little too intense, too much sensation or painful, feel free to just lower down whenever you'd like. So we're letting go of any tension that we might be holding in the lower body, in our hips or in our legs, and just allowing them to be supported here. And we're pressing through the forearms, so we're kind of rising from our mat or from the earth, drawing our shoulder blades together, opening the heart space, shining forward. And our gaze can come between our hands, lengthening the crown towards the front of the room. You can allow your head to hang heavy here. You can rest it on a block if you'd like. A little support here. So take whatever option feels right to you right now. Our belly's pressed against the earth. Heart space open, just connecting with the breath, traveling as we inhale, creating space in the heart center and the belly, and as we exhale, using the weight of our body to facilitate release of the breath from the belly. Just allowing it to relax. Following that flow of breath, noticing the space it creates in the belly and the heart space. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. If you aren't there already, just resting your forehead. Draw the hands under the shoulders, pressing into the mat, coming back through tabletop. We'll move into a wide-legged child's pose. So bring the big toes together, knees towards the edges of the mat, however far apart you'd like them to be. You can bring a bolster between the knees here if you'd like for support, or you can come all the way down to the mat. So we'll sink the hips down, and then walk the hands out, creating some length, really lengthening through the rib cage and the upper body. bringing the body between the knees and letting it come towards your support or to the mat. Reaching through the fingertips. Allow your head to rest on the mat or on a block or bolster. Breathing deeply into the belly here with our heart space open towards the earth. If you are grateful and have a connection to nature and to earth, maybe connecting here, envisioning that golden connection, that light connecting you to the earth beneath you. Bring the gaze towards the fingertips. And just walk the hands back towards the body. Bring the head up last. Draw the knees in. Just take a little toe squat here so we can tuck the toes. Just stretching into the soles of the feet, the bottoms of the feet. And you can have your hands on the mat or on blocks, or walk your hands all the way back, coming to an upright position. This is pretty intense for most people, so if you get here and decide that you want to come back down to the mat, you totally can. Just imagine for a moment you could breathe through the soles of your feet, just drawing your awareness there. And untap the toes, tap the feet out on the mat. We'll move into pigeon pose or swan in yin yoga. You can take this supine as well if that's in your practice. Have one of your blocks nearby, and from tabletop we'll draw the right knee towards the right wrist and then lengthen that left leg back. We can place the block underneath your right hip if you'd like. You can bring the bolster to the front of your mat. And wherever you want to have this right leg, the foot can be more in towards the groin. It can be more parallel, the shin parallel to the front of the mat. Whatever is a good stretch and sensation for you. You can stay up on the hands, or you can come to blocks or come to the forearms. Just allow the hips to be somewhat level to your mat. If they're not, that's okay. You just want to feel supported here and feel that sensation in the right side, the right hip. Inviting the breath to soften this area, release any tension or tightness here. Walk the hands back, releasing if you are in a supine position, just unwinding, maybe taking the knees in towards the chest or taking a brief child's pose here just to reset. And then coming into the other side when you're ready. Through tabletop, bringing the left knee towards the left wrist. Placing that block under the left hip if you'd like. Making all the adjustments you need to with props. And finding some stillness and release on the left side of the body. Inhale, walking the hands back, unwinding, moving props out of the way and coming to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. And on the inhale, we'll circle, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands at heart center in some way, either one over the other or in prayer pose. And we'll just take a moment here to come back to our intention that we set at the beginning of practice, or to come back to those connections collectively. See if you can imagine all of those tiny threads, those connections, for all the things that you're grateful for, connecting all at once, creating this web of love, compassion, and support. The gratitude that we feel for these connections, the joy it brings us. Grateful for bodies that can move through this practice in any way today, for people to practice with, and for a beautiful space to practice in. Thank you, friends, for joining me today. May you carry the benefit of this practice with you throughout the rest of your afternoon, your weekend, and beyond. Thank you.